Hey everybody, it's Brian John, and it's June of 2023, and I've been exactly in this workforce, a real adult for precisely 4 years. I started working literally on a Thursday back in 2019 when I graduated college, was an investment banking analyst, and I've now worked for 4 years. I'm a real adult. I feel old AF, and I'm going to go through reflections, quick points on what I think about a career, what I think about the beginning of a career. I have theoretically 35 more years to go, hopefully less than a year because I want to retire and just take care of kids at home. But for those of you watching, also early in your career, maybe late in your career, haven't started your career yet, here's some thoughts, brutally honest thoughts that I have about starting my career. Number one, first job matters. I think I've heard a lot of people say, whatever you start with, it's a good way to decipher out. You can make changes later. Life is about having second chances. There's MBAs. First job matters tremendously because it sets a tone for what your career is going to be. It sets a tone for your bedrock connections. It sets a tone for understanding what you like, what you don't. Earlier money made is more wealth accrued later. I can't thank my first job enough. Of course, I'm a particular case in the sense that I built this platform on my first job. I figured out what I liked and what I didn't like based on my first job. My first job was insanely high paying, especially for my age, which gave me a nice cushion for the rest of my life. First job matters immensely. So choose wisely. I know that sounds scary, but I think we're living in this age of like, there's no responsibility and it's okay to live a certain way because you can make it up later. I don't think so. I think first job matters tremendously. And I've seen plenty of people that were lazy in their college career to get a crappy job and then they regret it later. First job matters. Make sure that you get a great first job to the best of your ability. Of course, if you're in circumstances that disallow you to do and so, you should work towards it later. But from the hundreds of clients that I've had during career consulting on this platform, people regret not trying harder in college because that's the easiest way that 6 months or 4 years could make a change in your 60-year lifetime. So if you have time remaining in your college career, make sure you give it your hardest because first job matters. Connections matter. Number two, I've made plenty of videos on this. The connections that you establish during your career, whether it be your colleagues, your superiors, people under you, whatever it may be, they will be of some value later. They might help you in the weirdest things. They might go start off their own thing and hire you for it. They might serve as references for your future jobs. Everything I just mentioned are things that I've been through personally. And I've obviously not had the most traditional path of careers, but everyone I talk to, most people that I talk to in any field, it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, lawyer, an engineer, an entrepreneur, even teachers, they all have benefited from knowing someone that they've worked with beforehand. So when you enter a job, make sure that you establish good connections with whoever you're working with, regardless of how small, big, how impactful, how influential that person might be. I guarantee you they will be of some use at the end of the day. And of course, you don't want to be cynical and think of everyone as a use or utility, but realistically, human relationships are about give and take. And if they're in front of you and you have access to them, you might as well use them to the best of your ability. Connections matter, especially earlier in your career. They will prove to be quite helpful, especially as you're trying to move towards new jobs, get new roles, need recommendations, get better insights into things that you might not know off in the internet. Connections matter. Both hard skills and soft skills matter. No matter who tells you, hey, it's all about the hard skills at the end of the day, we're all going to be replaced by robots, it's soft skills that matter. Both matter tremendously, regardless of what role you're going to. You're going to need to know your Excels, your modeling, your hands touching teeth, whatever it might be. Hard skills matter. You're going to have to know how to do something. And yes, in this age of AI, you might be replaced. Someone's going to know how to use that AI. It doesn't matter what role you have. Hard skills matter, and hard skills are what's going to set you apart in terms of getting those prerequisites to getting those roles and getting those career bumps. Soft skills is what then takes you across the finish line and gets you to maintain yourself as a fun person to work with, as a good person to work with, and to get you into those next level management roles. But both are complements, not one superseding the other. I've had a wide range of roles in my short 4-year career, and I can tell you for a fact that both have been setbacks for me and also push forwards for me. Both are essential in having a good career. Of course, if you get it to the high level positions and it's all about people management and knowing people, soft skills matter more. But even then, having the hard skill set is going to take you to a next level. And whoever tells you otherwise is probably saying it because they lack one or the other and they don't want to admit it. So if you have both, keep getting better at both because both are going to matter forever. Lastly, and this is a no beep Brian comment, like, dude, are you Sherlock? Of course, that's true. But you got to figure out what you want. And the earlier you figure this out, the happier you can get. And figuring out comes with giving up and almost settling. But let's not use those terms as negative words. Early on, I figured out that money is not insanely important to me. Money's important, and I need to maintain it to have a certain lifestyle. And of course, I haven't made little money before, just being very open. So I don't know what that feels like. I need to at least maintain what I'm making now to sustain the life that I have. But I'm not driven by money. There's no internal desire for me to hit a scoreboard and say, I make more money than this person. Money itself has never been the motivating factor for me. For some people, it is. Location is quite important to me. I like the fact that I'm in New York, that I have a community around me. I love the fact that I have California to fall back to, where my family is and where my childhood friends are at the end of the day. Those things are essential to me. Being mission driven is critical to me. I can't stand doing something that I don't understand or why I think it's important, or things that I don't want to push onto others. I can't do. And the reverse, the mission that I care about, things that I actually believe in, I'm particularly good at driving home. Figuring out who you are, what you want early on is going to get you miles ahead, because it's going to knock out things that you know for a fact you don't want to do. I think that is quite important. I made a previous video on coding boot camps, and I did a coding boot camp. It made me realize I never want to be an engineer, because that's not something that I am overly particularly good at, and something that doesn't drive value to where I think drives value. And I've recognized there's plenty of other people that are better than me at that. I figured that out relatively early on, and I'm not going to have any regrets of not pursuing that later on. Ever since I did that, ripped that Band-Aid off, not important to me. I think it's unbelievably important to have work-life balance. For me, not just weekends, but during the day, I need times to reflect. I need times to go out. I need times to have meals with people that I care about. I need to hop on FaceTimes during night. I can no longer have jobs that require me to work 24/7. For me, that's important. Those are things that are important to me right now that I figured out quite early on because of the various careers I've had. Figuring this out is essential, and figuring this out is so valuable because it will allow you to prioritize things that you want and not feel bad about not getting things, when in reality, the things that you get from those things aren't things that you value. Things that you sacrifice aren't worth the sacrifices. In short, my short-term lived career of 4 years has taught me to prioritize and to make connections, to push skills, and recognize that I've been very lucky to have started the way that I have. I encourage you guys to follow suit. Feel free to disagree if you've had a longer career than me and feel differently in the comments below. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Let's go.